Everybody, what is going on? The catch fam. Hope everyone out there is doing phenomenal tonight. Hope all you guys are having a great Friday. Hope you guys are looking forward to a great weekend. Hope you guys are ready for another night of live fantasy Q&A. Anything that you guys need, start sits, ads, drops, last week of trades for a lot of you guys, maybe not for everybody, but for a lot of people. So trade advice. I know a lot of people out there trying to get last minute trade ins. Joe Burrow, Mark Andrews, aftermath, whatever it may be. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna talk some fantasy football. We've got Pete from After the Review Sports in the house with us tonight. What is going on, man?
Not much. It's week 11 now. It's getting kind of late in the season. It's going way too fast, way too fast. We got to pick things up there. I know a lot of seasons are hanging in the balance. Trevor Lawrence has put me in a tough situation in a couple of my leagues, so we got to figure this thing out here for everybody.
It's crunch time. I mean, this is like truly like I mean, like past couple of weeks. I've been kind of like, if you guys don't have a winning record, like there's still hope. You gotta get some things together. Like right now, it's like
Now or never.
it, it actually really depends on like how many wins are accumulated across your league and everything. I've seen some leagues where there's like 8 teams with the same record. So, but yeah, it's crunch time, guys. I mean, the fantasy playoffs are just a few weeks away. But nonetheless, we're gonna enjoy the rest of the season, have some fun with it, and then hopefully move into a really good postseason this year. Although we were just talking about that, and it's kind of bleak out here in the NFL. A lot of bad starting quarterbacks. So we'll see how things shape out. But get in the live chat. Let us know what you guys need, and let's talk some fantasy football tonight. Let's quickly go through the news for the day. We'll just get Joe Burrow will miss the rest of the season. I'm sure everybody and their mother knows that by now, as will Mark Andrews. So, well, his is likely a season-ending injury, but I'm going to go with probably so. Maybe if they
Maybe
make a deep playoff
he's
push,
done for fantasy, that's for sure.
sure, for sure. But obviously, like last night was actually a pretty good night fantasy wise, but it was just so overshadowed by the two major injuries. So uh, just it feels like a bleak week for fantasy football. But we'll go over how that affected you guys and whatever questions you guys have. If you own Burrow, if you own Andrews, and we'll go from there. Damian Pierce has been ruled out for Sunday's game against Arizona, so fire up Devin Singletary. This Cardinals run defense awful. Noah Brown is also out for the Texans, so I guess fire up Robert Woods because the
Well,
Cardinals.
Nico's going to be back, I think. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Nico and Tank Dell, of course, were starting. Schultz is fine. The Cardinals have surprisingly been very good against tight ends this year. He's probably still fine. But Noah Brown seemed like a fun last minute like flex option. He's not going to be an option for you guys. Garrett Wilson's been dealing with an elbow injury, and he is questionable for Sunday's game against the Bills. He says he's good to go. Robert Sala says he's not
yeah, Robert
cleared.
Sala has made it sound like he is not playing at
Yeah.
all.
So we'll see what happens there. The best news of the week: the Browns are hosting quarterback Joe Flacco for a workout. That happened today. So let's go. Joe Flacco might be back in the NFL. If anything, as like a maybe
Do they?
practice squad player.
I think. Do they still play the Ravens? Like Joe Flacco goes into Baltimore, wins the division for the Browns. That'd be the greatest story ever.
That actually would be incredible. Let's see. They play the Ravens. No, they've already played
Ah,
twice this year. Dang it.
boo,
Yeah,
boo,
last week was at
boo,
Baltimore, then they played in week 4 with
boo.
yeah, that would have been great.
All right,
But
all
they do
right.
play Cincinnati in week 18,
The dream
so
is dead. So Joe Flacco versus Browning. Good job.
that
Woo!
now that's the real
Jake
dream is watching
Browning.
those two guys. But that's about it, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. So let's just talk some fantasy. Get in the live chat because, like I said, just a bleak week for fantasy football. Well, I guess good news: Justin Fields is playing. I forgot about that. So no Burrow, but we have Fields back. I guess that less Tyson Bagent.
Nah, I'm a big fan of teabags over here. Keep losing
I
those
like T-Bag.
games.
Yeah. But one less backup quarterback. But you guys know me, I always root for those backup quarterbacks. So, um, all right, RIP Burrow. Yeah, rip. Have him in half of my dynasty leagues. I'm already getting offers like across dynasty leagues. I'm like, I'm not trading Burrow no matter what. I will hold him forever. He, historically has had a lot of injuries though. It's something that's starting to come up.
Made of glass.
Yeah. I did also read that he has been like, so if you look at the number of games he's played in, not including the postseason, the number of games that Andrew Luck played in, the like the sack number is like almost identical. And everyone always bring that up. Like, I don't blame Andrew Luck for retiring early because he got sacked so often. The Colts never did anything about it. But hey, I mean that's a lot of organizations. Look at Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some fantasy. Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray? Start one this week, 6-point passing tutty league. Thank you. What's up, Victor? Um, yeah, I mean, how do we feel about Kyler after last week's performance? Gets the Texans this week. This defense is like
Just
okay.
the Texas pass defense feels kind of bad. Like
Yeah, they
they were good for 3 quarters against Cincy, but that fourth quarter was Bengals should have won that game.
they've done that like 2 weeks in a row, right?
Yeah, same thing with Tampa.
Yeah. Tampa's really bent a lot too. Tampa a little bit better against the run, so that could maybe
Yeah.
force Brock to throw a bit. But I still think Brock is kind of the floor play, the safer option. But Kyler brings you more upside for sure. And I think he'll be a little bit looser this week. I won't be surprised if he has another rushing touchdown like he did last week. Um, and I don't know. I feel like that game script between the Cardinals and Texans could get a little juicy. But
That's a weird game. Like Texans are
mm,
5-point 5.5 point favorites. I don't know if I like Cardinals looked
yeah.
good with Kyler Murray, at least not bad for sure.
I think what it will boil down to is the defenses because the Cardinals defense just been, I mean, they just been really bad. Texas defense not great, but they've been
Yeah, if you let
okay.
Desmond Ritter drive the field to beat you, essentially, or at least go down, you're pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want the floor, take Purdy. If you want upside, go with Kyler. I appreciate that, Victor. Dominic, someone offered me Josh Allen and Aaron Jones for Alvin Kamara. Wow. My other quarterbacks are T-Law Murray. My other running backs are Pollard, Connor, Javante. I mean, you could do this if you really want to significantly upgrade at quarterback, but like you still have okay quarterback play. You don't want to lose Kamara. Your running backs are like here's the thing: your running backs are fine. They just don't bring a ton of upside, and Kamara brings that PPR like reception upside. And you have Pacheco. I mean, you can do this trade if you want Josh Allen. Um, and you get Aaron Jones. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Pete? I think that's
I
fine.
want Josh Allen. I think the offense is gonna still put up points. Like the seas have opened up. Somehow this pathetic, awful, terrible, just awful Bills team is going to get into the playoffs now because everybody has died at quarterback in the AFC North, and their competition is now Kenny Pickett and a bunch of guys half the league hasn't even heard of. So Josh Allen, like the Bills are now going to be competitive. They're going to feel jacked up. So yeah, Allen's going to put up 1,000,000 points still. Hopefully, he cuts down on the turnovers.
I do feel like the Bills are going to bounce back this week. Um, but I think I kind of agree here. I think Aaron Jones is good enough. A trade off with the running backs you already have. Just go and upgrade at quarterback. Then you don't have to worry about quarterback for the rest of the year. Like T Law, Kyler are going to be kind of going back and forth on a weekly basis, and it's going to be painful. So I say go and do it. But man, did you know if I think it was if the Chiefs lost to the Eagles this weekend and the Ravens lost last night, the Steelers would have been number one in the AFC, which is just mind blowing. Anyways,
Thank God we don't live in that universe because the
I know,
Steelers are as bad as they come.
I know. Should I trade Najee for Purdy? Just lost Burrow, but I do have Kyler. My other running backs are Henry, B. Rob, and Hunt. You can. I mean, it's like Purdy is fine and fantasy. He's doesn't always have the highest ceiling. He's going to be in some competitive games towards the end of the year here because the Niners are going to be frequently fighting for that number one seed in the NFC. Um, got Tampa Bay, Seattle, Philly. That's going to be a big game. Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore, Washington. So there's some big games in there. Um, he's a QB 11. Kyler is kind of an unknown. If you feel okay with your running back depth, like I'm okay with it. Najee may be getting less touches with Warren supposedly being the starter now. I think it's okay. If you're sad about Burrow, you can move on. I want to apologize to all other Burrow owners for cursing them by me drafting him this year. Yeah. Might be my fault. I was super in on Burrow this year. Coin flip, PPR, trade Jones, White, McBride for Eckler and Spears. Have Kelsey, Swift, Stevenson. I mean, if you want the big upgrade at running back, you can do it. I'm kind of more of a depth guy. Like I look at Aaron Jones, Rashad White, Swift, and Stevenson, and I like that. You don't really need McBride because you have Kelsey unless you want to turn around and do another trade. I don't know. Getting Eckler, he's the best player involved here. I don't think Spears does anything for me, though. Just a pure handcuff. I'd probably keep the depth, but if you really feel like you want to go and upgrade, you can go for it. Tristan, pick 2. Swift, Henry, DJ Moore, Collins. Tough to bench Derrick Henry, but we're getting a lot of questions, this past week with Derrick Henry coming off of a 3-point game, going up against the Jaguars' run defense. Should we bench Derrick Henry this week? Jags are
kind of, maybe. I don't know. What do I think of the Jags? Like, are the Jags good or the Jags bad? I say this every week. I have no idea what the Jags are. Zero idea.
And like Swift, the Chiefs are a tough matchup as well. They're top 10 against position, but at least he gets a little bit more like pass work.
Yeah, and they're gonna feed him. Like, are they gonna go with are they going with Spears in Tennessee? Are they waving the white flag?
I'll probably go Collins against Arizona.
I like that.
They stink. I think I'll go Swift. Usually I say, if it's like Saquon, Henry, you still start those guys, but I mean, Derrick Henry is that type of player that he'll get a touchdown this week somehow. People are going to freak out about him. It's a bad matchup. Titans are on the road, though. I'll go Swift and Collins. I do think DJ Moore could have like a nice bounce back game. Lions secondary has been great. Justin Fields is back, but
I don't know what to think about that Bears Lions game. I think maybe the Lions are going to get out 30 years of anger again and destroy the Bears. But if not, Moore's going to get he's going to get the whatchamacallit, the targets.
Yeah, I do feel like it could kind of be similar to that Giants Cowboys game from this weekend.
Could be.
But there's always garbage time for the Bears.
Justin Field loves garbage time. I think he's actually ran really well against the Lions last year.
He has.
So that could be a thing.
Yeah. Debo or Thielen full PPR? I will go Debo. Buck's secondary's been really weak. It's been a couple weeks. Well, I guess not a couple weeks, but yeah, Debo always up and down. I feel like he could have a nice week this week. He did fine last week against Jacksonville. I go Debo. I like Debo this week. Got a good feeling. Thielen, tough matchup against the Cowboys. He's been a little bit less consistent lately. Is he falling off? Might be. I don't know. PPR, flex, White, Deontay, JSN if Lockett does not play. I'm probably sticking with Rashad White for now. I'm just a Rashad White guy, so I might be biased, but JSN is intriguing though. But
I think I don't know. Seahawks play bad against the Rams like every game, every time. Just no matter what, they're bad against the Rams.
I actually like JSN more if Lockett plays. Is that crazy?
No, that makes sense because he'll get what
and
little coverage they have, he'll get.
The Rams defense has actually been pretty good this year. Like they're top 10 fantasy-wise against running backs and wide receivers. I think they dropped like top 12 against running backs, but whatever. I'll go Rashad White. I still like him this week against the Niners. I think see the Bucks playing from behind potentially, or just doing whatever they can to stay in that game. See some dump offs. MVS or Tony, neither. I guess MVS. He's been a little bit more consistent this year. I will say this much, Anakin. The Eagles secondary is bad.
Pretty awful.
Somebody's going to benefit.
They had a bye. Maybe they have a couple plays drawn up for Tony.
Yeah.
I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs wide receiver core so much.
I know. I like Rashee Rice a lot.
Everybody, yeah. But it's like, that's your number one. We got real problems.
And it's like, they let him like score. Then after he scores, it's kind of like Cortland Sutton. It's like as soon as he scores, you're like, all right, no more plays to him. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like I think Rashee Rice had like 2 receptions before the bye, but he like scored against the Dolphins in like the first 5 minutes, and they were like, all right, he's out of the game. That's like, it makes no sense. Albert, hello, what's up, dude? Callie, how do you like the Texans rest of the season? Vikings, Falcons. My league hogs up defense. Thank you. Great show. Thanks, Callie. We appreciate that. I actually
we're trash. We're trash. We're bad.
Do you know?
We play.
It depends on scoring format.
They give up a lot of yards. If you have a very yard negative league, which I play in one of them, they give up a lot of yards, and they've been giving up some points the last few weeks. But we play terrible quarterbacks coming. Like the list, you sent me the list today of the quarterbacks. It's not Jared Goff is by far the best quarterback the Vikings defense plays, and one of those 2 times is after the season.
Defense 6 in fantasy.
Turnovers.
I don't know how
they get turnovers. They have been turning people over the last on this. I guess 5 weeks now on the 5-game winning streak. They've been averaging 2 turnovers a game, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I mean, since week 6, 2 interceptions in every game except weeks 8 and 9, where they had 1, and in both those games they had at least 1 fumble.
So there you go.
Yeah, they're at Denver, at home against Chicago next week, then a bye week. Then they get Aiden O'Connell, Joe Burrow's backup, Goff, which Goff is
it's the best quarterback that you're gonna face.
Sure. Then Jordan Love. Then they're at Detroit again in week 18, which is not really fantasy relevant, but I like the Vikings defense rest of the season. I do. The Texans are interesting though.
They might get in too many shootouts. The offense is gonna score, and people are gonna have to throw the ball against them, and they're not good enough to stop that. Yeah.
I like the Vikings, straight up. And guys, if the Chiefs defense, like whatever you're doing right now, if you play in a team with defensive teams, go look at the Chiefs are available, because they got dropped a lot after last week, and then they played the Eagles this week, so some people were too scared to pick them up, which makes sense. But they have a phenomenal playoff schedule, and they should be rostered after they play the Eagles this week. But yeah, I have a league that I have the Eagles and Vikings. I have the Chiefs and Vikings. I feel really good about that. Pick 2, Hall, Monty, A-Chain. Oh, that's tough. These are like 3 of my favorite guys this week. The Bills, I've been saying it for weeks, like trying to engrave in your guys' mind. The Bills' run defense sucks. And I think that was on full display against the Broncos. The Broncos kind of suck, but also don't suck.
The Broncos, we don't know what the Broncos are these days.
Dude, I think they might make the playoffs. I'm not even lying.
There is a window. They play the teams in front of them. So
I really think they might. But I love Breece Hall this week. The Bills are the 8th worst team in the league fantasy-wise against running backs. And I don't know. I just like Breece Hall. But how are you going to bench Monty against his former team? And also it's Monty, and the Bears are bottom 10 against running back position. Do we just bench A-Chain because it's his first game back? Maybe he's slowly worked in?
No, I'm 100% starting him in my league, but I don't have much of a choice. But Miami at home, they have a plus 100 point differential at home this season. Now I know it was 50 by the Bronco game, but they are killing people at home. And
The Raiders.
are we gonna be serious? Like the Raiders are bad. Like
Yeah,
congratulations, you've won 2 games against nobodies.
fifth worst team against running backs fantasy wise. So these are like all great matchups. Love all these guys. They get goal line work. They get enough touches. You really cannot go wrong here. You got to trust your gut. Look deep into your soul. You'll make the right choice.
I will say HA may only get like 12 touches, but he could still go for $150 and two
I know.
touchdowns.
Yeah, that was like my maybe the deciding factor. Like maybe he gets less volume. Maybe Mostart gets more goal line work this week. But you just can't go wrong here.
Definitely play Brees Hall, and
I feel like Brees going to have a big week.
I
I like
probably
Brees a
play
lot.
Montgomery.
It's. I won't be surprised if any of these guys outscore each other. It just happens, man. Could even flex one of those guys. Mateo, what's going on, man? Hello. Washington or the Jets defense? So I kind of like the Jets against the Bills this week, but I don't think they have like a high ceiling. But I can see Josh Allen and company having some more turnovers, and the
I'm a little
Jets
worried that they finally run the ball, and the Jets do not have a good run defense. Like
they don't.
they do not. Like so, the Bills finally give Cook the ball because we're not going to put him in the doghouse. We're not going to be stupid. We're just going to keep giving our best running back the ball. New offensive coordinator. Maybe that turns it up. But the Jets historically have kind of owned Josh Allen. I think owned him.
Yeah, I I think like they're fine. I think that they'll probably have problems in this game, but they're fine. I don't trust Washington this week. Like I always get worried about this because this happens so frequently in fantasy where like we know there's a quarterback like Tommy DeVito rolling out there. He just got steamrolled by the Cowboys, even though he did throw 2 touchdowns in that game. And the next week he's playing a team like Washington. And everyone's like, I'm gonna start Washington when they have the third fewest fantasy points in the entire league defensively. They haven't scored a single fantasy point since week 9. Like they're awful. I just do not trust them. So I go the Jets between these two options. But I know a lot of people are risking it and throwing Washington out there. So all right, let's see. Tommy, what's going on, man? Thoughts on stashing Doodle or McKinnon? Last year around this time, McKinnon broke out. Um, McKinnon does have a very intriguing playoff schedule. And I mean, I feel like the Chiefs coming out of the bye, like, I don't know, maybe they start drawing something up because he hasn't really been that involved this year. I like Doodles, though. Do you lean either way between those two players? I mean, McKinnon had 10 points right before the bye.
I hate the Cowboys and I hate what they're doing to my man Tony Pollard. This is ridiculous. This is an injustice. This is collusion at the highest order. Jerry is clearly not giving him touchdowns because they want to pay him and say, "Oh, look at your regular season stats. You didn't score all. You didn't do anything. We don't have to pay you as much." Come postseason, they're gonna give him a million touches and he's gonna have like 6 touchdowns in 3 games for them. This is an
I can
injustice
actually
of the
see that.
greatest order. But I like McKinnon. The Chiefs is
Yeah.
like crunch time, bad weather. McKinnon comes in, pass protection. They dump to McKinnon, but I think they're kind of like Pacheco. I think they kind of trust Pacheco. Unlike last year where he was a
Mhm.
rookie, Pacheco may eat into those like pass pro McKinnon touches.
They both have good upcoming schedules, too. The Cowboys do play Philly in week 14, then Detroit in the fantasy championship, which both bad matchups. But I guess we'll go McKinnon. Traded Hal, Kamara, and Ridley for Waddle. I did not like that trade for you. I'm not going to lie.
How is like the number 2 quarterback? Come on.
I didn't look at your full roster, but I felt like Ridley v. Waddle is pretty close. At least there's an argument.
I just feel better getting rid of Calvin Ridley because the Jaguars are the bane of my existence this year in fantasy.
I would probably rather own Jalen Waddle, and I do feel like the way their offense is I'd rather have Waddle in general compared to Jags offense, which is kind of like they've been better this year when they've ran the football effectively and played defense well. We haven't really seen that like huge step forward from Trevor Lawrence that I was expecting. A lot of people were expecting like a, like how Jalen Hurts
The
looked
re-
last
the
year.
the reports are bad on Lawrence. Like he can't read a defense. They said there was stuff there for Washington that he should be reading and making plays with.
That's propaganda.
Not
Trevor
Washington,
Lawrence
San Francisco. Excuse me. Whoever they played last week. It's not propaganda. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are killing me. But yeah, you can't give up Howell and Kamara to get rid of Calvin Ridley's headache.
I I at least feel like you could have got one more player for this trade. I thought this was too much to give up for Waddle. But then again,
probably
I didn't look at your
probably
full
could have got
roster.
Tony Pollard because he's useless these days.
I do think Pollard will score a
Nope.
touchdown this week.
Yeah. God.
Carolina.
Yeah.
He has
Sure.
to.
Nope.
He has to.
Telling you, it's a conspiracy.
I need wide receiver help. Still have Gibbs, Javante Ford, and the Doodles. Yeah, I still feel like you could have got one more player. I would have felt better. I never really like a 3-for-1 trade unless you're getting like a absolute locked in stud. Like Waddle's been hurt throughout the year. The offense has, really spread the football around. So I didn't like the trade in nature. But uh, trust your gut. That's what I always encourage you guys to do. Taco cheese. All right, you need a running back, wide receiver, a flex, and a tight end. Connor, A-Chain, Ford, Waddle, Nico, Rice, Kincaid, Laporta. R.I.P. Burrow. I go A-Chain at running back. I do like Connor this week, though. He got enough volume last week, just didn't find the end zone. Looked good with his touches. Maybe Connor for 4, A-Chain for upside, but we like upside. I'd probably start Nico and Rashee Rice. If you like Waddle over one of those guys, he's fine. And I go Kincaid.
Really? You gonna sleep on Laporta?
I don't know. That's hard. It's a little bit of recency biasy because Kincaid's been playing better lately. But
Laporta had a pretty good game against the Chargers. I can't
yeah,
imagine it was a bad
he got
game.
a touchdown vultured by whoever the other tight end is. I mean, he's been fine. Like you can start him any week. You can start Kincaid at any week, and the Jets are bottom 10 against the position. I don't exactly know where the Bears come in, but yeah, I mean, you can start Laporta any week. I just feel like Kincaid offers a little bit more upside. Is that crazy?
I don't
Maybe.
know. I can't trust the Bills. Another team I hate.
Yeah. If you want to go Laporta, I don't hate it. I'm not like I like both these guys. It's a good problem. I feel like Laporta is probably due for one. Kincaid got a tutty last week, so maybe go Laporta. But a lot of good players here. Say A-Chain, Nico Rice, in my opinion. If you like Waddle over one of those guys, sure. And we'll say Laporta.
Woo.
We'll go with Pete. Yeah. What's going on, Birdman? Hello. Good to see you. All right. Do I trade Cup, Kyron, Stevenson for AJ? Maybe. Like, see, that's the 3-for-1 trade I'd consider. Because, like, there's like that tier I always talk about of players who are just like, I'll give up a haul for him. I think you wait, though, because let's see how Cup looks with staph infection back out there. See how Kyron, I don't know, that's next week, I guess. But let's just see if Cup has a good game.
I think Cup's gonna have a really good game this weekend for some reason. It's gonna be like one of those Cup $1.80 games.
Because like right now you're kind of like treating Cup like he's not worth a lot. He hasn't had Stafford out there healthy. I mean, let's see. If you do this trade, you'd have JT and Brees, Amon Ra,
AJ and
AJ.
CD. Oh my
That's
man,
it.
I might pull the trigger now on that. Man, that's pretty scary.
But it does hurt your running back depth. You lose Kyron and Stevenson, but you have JT and Brees. Javante is another option.
And you're never flexing a running back with that wide receiver core.
I mean, I would say maybe let us know your full roster because it's a big trade. But I don't know. Amon-Ra, CD, and AJ Brown
Nightmare
is
fuel. That is nightmare fuel.
every time someone looks at your starting lineup, they will be worried. Pretty good team for 4-6 as well. Carl, what's up, man? Had a dud with Boyd at my flex. We need to lock in my QB choice this week. Torn between Goff or Purdy. I go Goff. Great matchup. He's at home. Yeah, Pete mentioned it earlier. This might be like
Revenge.
one of those games.
One of those games.
The Lions just remind us why they are now who they are, Better than the Bears and the Packers.
Goff is an assassin at home. Goff indoors / at home is an assassin.
I was gonna let you finish that and say in the Vikings.
No. Lion fans, multiple Lion fans text me today worried about us coming on hot right now. They're sweating. I could only imagine if they actually lost that game against the Chargers, how they'd be feeling right now. It would be, oh no, not again.
I like the Vikings right now. So I think we both agree.
Lions got too big of a lead.
Yeah. Lions or Jags D. I like them both this week. I don't really think they're ceiling plays; they're more floor plays, but I'll go with the Lions. Both are fine though. I don't know. Actually, maybe we'll go Jags.
Yeah, maybe the Jags, because they were bad last week, so that means they got to be good this week, right? That's the logic.
Yeah.
And Will Levis kind of looks bad.
Yeah. I don't know. How did he go from what he did to what he is? I don't know.
He didn't turn the ball over though, so
I know.
I don't know. Weird.
Mateo, we need to start one at wide receiver 3. Dotson, Watson, Brown, Cooks. No, Brown's not playing. I'd start Dotson. I like him this week. I think that's another game. I think the Giants might just get blown out again. But I never trust Washington. I never trust.
Didn't they just lose to the Giants 14-7, this Washington team?
Never trust them in a NFC East matchup. But I do like Dotson this week. Maybe Brandon Cook's a little sneaky. But Panthers have been okay against wide receivers this year. I would personally start Dotson. Christian Watson is I don't speak his name. I dislike him. I finally dropped him in my keeper league. Big announcement. He's just sitting on my roster and my bench. I'm never going to start him. Anyways, start one at running back, one at flex. A-Chain, Robinson, Najee, Javonte, Henderson, Singletary, Madison. A lot of good players here. I go A-Chain and B-Rob, but I really like Singletary this week. But I go A-Chain and B-Rob. B-Rob's like the RB6. I've been saying it for weeks. He's been a top 10 running back for weeks now. I don't understand. Just start Brian Robinson.
Because he had a couple clunkers in there, didn't
he? Yeah.
But so does but it's like every running back kind of has that. Yeah, hopefully Madison's out, so God willing he's hurt.
I was going to ask you, do you feel like Madison's going to play?
I hope he doesn't, and when he doesn't, we'll find out that the best running back is Ty Chandler, and Madison is trash,
Great
and he's keeping this team down. God, I hate Madison so much. Him, but my other least favorite, KJ, is back this week, so whoop-de-doo.
KJ is back, yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go H and B-Rob. But Singletary's very sneaky. And there are other good names here. A lot of running back depth here. So, what's up, Mike? Currently 5-5. PPR, 2 RB, 2 receiver, 2 flex. I think I'm an elite wide receiver away. Who do I target? What package could I give? Mahomes, Fields, Bijan, Kamara, Pollard, Kyron, Chuba, McKinnon. Wait, elite wide receiver away. Wilson, Puka, Deontay, Ridley, Watson, Dotson. I mean, I'll say this much: you don't really need Fields. You're going to start Mahomes every week. He's had his bye week. He's not going to get hurt because no one else is getting hurt this year. I'm tired of it. I would say you keep Bijan and Kamara and Kyron, but you could use Pollard as a trade piece.
I feel like Bijan's the trade bait guy. I'm never trusting an Arthur Smith player ever again.
That's fair. I mean, I'll say that you can really pick any one running back.
I would try and keep Kamara. I think I would keep.
That's
Kamara.
Fair. I think there's an argument to maybe keep any one of these guys except Chuba or McKinnon, but Bijan, Kamara definitely at kind of that topper tier. But you can use any of those guys. I keep Garrett Wilson. Uh, any other wide receiver, I think you can use as well. You can use Pat Fryermuth if you want. I keep McBride though. So yeah, I mean, you keep Mahomes, one of those top-ish running backs, and Garrett Wilson because you kind of need him. He's going to get the targets and see what you can get. I mean, you have pretty good depth at all spots. Like a lot of your wide receivers are kind of lateral to one another. So, in terms of who should go after, it just depends on. I mean, you gotta go start firing out offers, man. Is now a buy low opportunity for Chase since Burrow is now going to be out. He did not immediately look good without him. So I
He
think this
still
is
got a
actually
he still got a touchdown.
he was like angry he caught a touchdown too. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for both these teams because like Andrews goes down, Lamar is like obviously super emotional about it during the game, and then Chase like scores a touchdown. He's just like F this, like let's go home, you know. But I think what I'll tell you guys is when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, and everyone in the world was saying you need to sell Garrett Wilson because he's like not going to do anything this year, and he's been fine in full PPR. Like his ceiling kind of disappeared, but I think Chase is kind of in the same boat. The targets are going to be there, the volume's going to be there. Higgins has been banged up. Boyd is always inconsistent at this point in his career. The tight end plays all over the place. Joe Mixon is most consistent piece on this offense right now. But Chase, as long as he's healthy, is going to get the targets. What else are they going to do? You know, um, tough year for the Bengals, man. Tough year. Uh, yeah, I would buy him low for sure. PPR. If it's not PPR, Slitty, what's up? Just made a trade. Bijan Cup, Kyler for Amon-Ra, Nico, Ramondre. Still have Hurts. Now my wide receivers are AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Nico, Pittman. I'm okay with this because you got Amon-Ra. You know, uh, I guess depends on the whole roster, but Kyler, let's say it's Kyler for Nico. Fine, you have Hurts. Ramondre for Bijan. I'd still rather Bijan, but it's fine. Amon-Ra for Cup. You won that, so I'll take the Amon-Ra side. Jags or Steelers? I go Steelers for sure. For sure. I
I
love
give
the Steelers.
7-3, 7-3 final if the defenses don't score.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, we got a rookie quarterback going out there. Steelers defense like third in fantasy. I go Steelers. Quick question. Am I crazy for thinking that Rasheed Rice and James Cook is a massive undersell for JT? Yeah, it is. Because both these guys have the upside to be like top 15 at their positions, but they're just underutilized. So, yeah, it is. Half PPR league, Rice was included with Dak and Downs to get T-Law and Diggs. Why does everyone love Rice so much? I mean, he is the leader in targets, receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns in terms of wide receivers for the Chiefs, which means something.
You have the
I like
best
Rice a
you
lot.
have the best quarterback in the league. You have a tight end who's 50 years old and too busy gallivanting around the world doing God knows what. You have Kadarius Toney who's a lunatic. And you got Sky Moore. Does Sky Moore even play for the Chiefs anymore? Like whereabouts unknown. So yeah, I like Rice because you have the best quarterback and somebody has to do something for this Chiefs team. Somebody.
You forgot Nicole Hardman.
They another guy who's just gonna fumble punts or lose 7 yards on a punt return.
You forgot MVS.
Does he even play? Does he even play?
Uh, yeah, I mean, and I talked about this like early in the season. Like Rice has been the guy all year long, but his ceiling is so capped because the Chiefs just do not utilize him. Uh, let's see, Rice, Dak, Downs, get T-Law and Diggs. I mean, if they really needed depth, I guess I can understand it. But half PPR, like I still want T-Law and Diggs here. Way rather have Dak than T-Law, but Diggs is kind of the outlier of this trade.
The Cowboys'
So
schedule is so trash until the championship game too.
Cowboys are just going to have one of these years again where they just light it up and they get to the playoffs and
Yeah, they lose
they're the
they lose to the
Cowboys.
49ers again. We've all seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got the Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins. These are just not good defenses.
Yeah. And these are going to be competitive games too. We're kind of getting to that point in the season. I keep talking about it where like some of these teams, like Niners, or not the Niners, but like the Eagles, for example, like I don't know, stuff's just going to start to go out the window, and teams are going to try and be, doing whatever they can to win games. So Bills, another one. Bye weeks are killing me. 16-team league. We got Lamar, K9, JT, Terry, Pickens, Laporta, Taysom, also MT McKinnon, Kenny, right in the bench. I mean, for a 16-team league, he looked pretty good. I'm a 16-team league. My team does not look like this. But Taysom Hill's on bye week, obviously, so he's got to fix that. But 16-team leagues are so hard to determine. Like 5-5 is okay right now for most 16-team leagues. It just depends on your league, man. But
Lamar's the most frustrating good quarterback in the league because
yeah,
they'll win by 25 and he'll score 12 points. But he had a good week this week, so
he did. Yeah, I would rather have your team than my team. If that makes you feel better. Andrea, how are you doing? We got Tank Dell, Nico, Rasheed Rice, and half PPR. I'll go Tank Dell. Why not? But all these guys are good options. But we want to think about the end zone. All these guys can score touchdowns this week, though. Good matches for all parties involved. Mike says, ride the hot hand. Sure, let's do it. Give me Tank Dell.
Tank kind of showed us a little something last week. We were a little low on him, and he showed us like I can
We
run with
talked
the
about that.
I can run with the ones.
Yeah, we mentioned that last stream. I mean, mainly I did. I was like, I'm not sure. Like, he's gonna go out
I
there, be
was
the
right with you, man.
yeah true wide receiver one, and he showed up. He even got a little banged up and came back. So. What running back do you think I could get for Mostart and Amari Cooper packaged? Uh, it's tough because Mostart, some people are gonna be a little leery because A-Chain's coming back. Then Amari loses to Deshaun Watson, and now PJ Walker's not starting for some reason.
He was the
Uh,
worst. PJ Walker was the worst quarterback in the NFL, and by the margin of the difference between him and second to last is the same difference between Goff, who's ranked first, and Justin Fields, who's ranked 17th. PJ Walker is so far the worst quarterback in the NFL. It's why DT, like, you can't play him anymore.
but
But
he did target Amari
Amari
Cooper
Cooper.
a lot. So that is in our fantasy brains. That is all I could think of. It's going to depend, man. You're going to have to go out there and really look for a team. I will look for a team that needs help at running back because you can still make the argument that because Mostart was fine before when A-Chain was out there.
Trade him for
He's
A
still
Chain.
doing,
Just swap him with
yeah,
A Chain right here. Go Amari and Moster for A Chain.
sure. But yeah, go find a team that needs a running back and really just push. Amari Cooper is kind of like that little sprinkle on top.
Safety. He's a safety blanket. Young quarterback. He's got to throw to him.
That works. Jackie, would you rather have Indy or Houston defense planning for week 16 and 17, plan on riding with Miami up to week 16? Man, so many people out here throwing Miami out there. Just worried about them. They do have a lot of good matchups, so I'll leave it be. I've talked about this a few times. I guess Indy.
Houston's got Cleveland and Tennessee going into the two playoff game, the semifinals of the finals.
Indy gets Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They're the defense.
I'd lean Indy too. They're a better team.
Yeah.
They're a better defense, I think.
And leading up, I mean, they get Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Cincy.
They're a gold mine against Cincy now. Jeez.
Yeah. Tennessee struggle. Tampa Bay is not great, but not the worst.
Who knows
Could
with
be
Tampa?
worse.
We don't know. We might start believing in Baker again. He'll start playing bad. That's how it works.
I hope that Baker goes to the Super Bowl. I take Indy here. I take Indy. Was able to grab the Niners D off waivers. Yeah, definitely hold them. Baltimore also on waivers. Whew. I would just grab those two, Tommy. Yeah, ride them into the playoffs. Why not? Need to Mostert, Pacheco, Connor, Javante, Ty Chandler. I'll go Connor and Mostert. I really want to like Ty Chandler this week, but we need to see if Madison plays or not.
I love Ty
If,
Chandler
Ma-
this week. He's the man.
if Madison doesn't play, I would start Ty Chandler. Over who? Um, Flip a coin. I definitely like Mostert and Connor the best this week. Tough matchup for Pacheco. Purdy or Gino?
Purdy.
I'll go Purdy. Purdy. Gino did show us a little bit of something last week. Teensy bit. He came through in the end, but he was looking rough in the first half.
I want to see what he is in his 4 games against the Rams. I don't think they're very good.
That's fair. Look it up. Anthony, just traded for Diggs, but since deadline, do I trade Diggs for Henry and Wilson? No. Keep Diggs. Keep Diggs. The Bills need to win some football games, and they're going to be throwing the football up. And Diggs will be a big part of that. Lions or Steelers? I'll go Steelers. I do like the Lions. I'll go with the Steelers though. Pickens or Reed this week, half PPR. Lots of buys. JJ doesn't look like he's going to play. I go Jaden Reed. Half PPR. I'll take Jaden Reed.
Gino, not good. And he had one good game last year against the Rams, but bad in his
Cool.
last 2.
I remember that game too. It was like all second half. I remember that game.
Threw for 3 touchdowns in that first game.
Yeah.
But the last 2 have been pretty bad.
Jaden Reed gets the Chargers. They are giving up the 4th most fantasy points wide receivers this year. So we'll go Jaden Reed. McKinnon for Vikings defense, half PPR. You could do that trade. You really need to. We talked about it earlier. We like the Vikings defense the rest of the year. So, I mean, McKinnon's like fine-ish, but sure. John, start 3.5 PPR. Singletary, Connor, Metcalf, Nico. Man, is it crazy that my mind says bench DK here? I don't think it
No,
is.
yeah, I think you bench DK here.
There's just no upside.
I mean, maybe Connor, just you don't quite know what the whole Cardinals thing is, but he's gonna get a touchdown probably if they get close. Nico should have a good game, and I love Singletary if he's with Pierce out.
Connor had 16 touches last week, 73 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Kyler really vultured that touchdown from Connor is what happened.
That's good. We need Kyler to vulture touchdowns more if we're gonna play Kyler this week.
I would bench DK, especially half PPR. Like I think maybe full PPR, but man, I'm going to see Singletary, Connor, and Nico all scoring this week. What do you think about Chandler? We like Chandler. We like Chandler, but we really got to pay attention to Madison plays or not. Tommy, 3-1 Howe, Jones, Olave for Eckler in my home league was legit. Yeah, because you got Eckler. 10 team, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, stacked now. Tua, Fields, Amara, Waddle, Dell, Watson, Pop, Eckler, A-Chain, Kyron, Mitchell, McKinnon. I mean, his team is fine. I don't know if I'd say it's stacked, but it's good. I mean, you're probably starting Tua, Amon-Ra, Tank Dell, Eckler, A-Chain. They have Kyron, who can either be a flex. He probably is a flex as 2 flex. Then probably Waddle. I don't trust Watson. I don't trust Pop. He's fine, but and Mitchell, McKinnon are just handcuff players. So, I mean, it's still a good team. If you have a winning record, I'd still feel pretty good though. Would you trade Chase for Pittman and Kincaid? Yeah, sure. Heard you talking about Cup earlier. You think he's better than Chase rest of the season? If Stafford's healthy.
Yeah, Stafford is healthy is a huge question mark. Like, Cup goes from being literal hot garbage and a waste of a roster spot and a start if Stafford goes down Chase is still
Yeah.
going to get the ball. Like, Chase might just get the ball thrown to him 40 times a game because they want him happy. They want him to stay there. They need to keep this party together.
Yeah, Chase is fine. Pittman's the number one option there. If like you have like no tight end help, like Kincaid, like the trade is fine. But I'm not like out on Chase necessarily. I just think his ceiling is like it. Like I said, it's just like the Garrett Wilson situation in my mind. Start Henry or Singletary. Um, wow, I might. Am I too infatuated with Singletary's game last week in this matchup?
No, like the Cardinals' run defense is bad.
And Henry gets a tough match. The chat. I need the chat to chime in. Derrick Henry against the Jags, fifth best team against the run this year, fantasy wise. Singletary versus the Cardinals. They come in as the third worst team. Who would you guys start? We started both, but I made the mistake of flexing Zay Flowers. Jacobs as RB1. I definitely start Jacobs. On one show, hello, 9-1. Let's go. Currently have these players at the moment: Lamar, Eckler, Javonte, Diggs, Allen, Kincaid, Godwin. Could be better, could be worse. You're 9-1. Doesn't really matter who you have. I mean, you're probably guaranteed to make the playoffs,
They have
and
to
you
be
found a way to win.
Have to be 100% at 9-1. There's no way you can miss.
It's always so interesting because, like, you look at some teams, you're like, this team's like fine, but it all depends on the exact matchups in your league that you've gotten throughout the year. Like, and you've gotten good enough matchups. Sometimes you look at a team and you're like the number one team in the league, and they're like, this team is not that good. You look at the points scored against them, and it's like, oh, well, that's why.
Yeah. That team's not that bad though. Like Diggs, like especially with Eckler back, Keenan Allen's a psychopath. He's going crazy every other week. So.
Yeah. No, I do like this team.
This is a good playoff team. I think all those guys are kind of starting to trend up. I think Diggs is going to see a high trend, and everybody else is trending up.
I agree. What's up, Box and the Jack? Ballistic, who should I aim to get with a package of Gibbs or Mostart? Don't trade Gibbs with Olave, Ayuk, Waddle, or Collins. I mean, either way, even if you do trade Gibbs, you should get a pretty dang good player for any of these packages. You know, you've essentially got the wide receiver one on the Saints, Niners, Texans.
1.5 on the 1.5. We'll call Nico Collins.
And I guess Ayuk's. I don't know. I probably still say Ayuk this year has been the wide receiver one.
Get rid of Mostert and Waddle.
I think you'll get a lot more if you do trade Gibbs. But I still like Mostart on the year. He just loses a little bit of upside. It's always so hard to say, like, who should you exactly target? You just got to start sending out offers to teams who have players that you think would benefit your roster. But, like, if you can get rid of these players, then you probably have a pretty good team. So it kind of depends on your needs as well. Who would we choose to trade among these players? I'd probably trade, if I had to choose one on each side, running back and wide receiver, probably Mostart and Waddle.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. It's just problem with it.
I love Olave. If Crazy Man Winston's going to be quarterback, damn, I love Olave. He's just going to chuck it up there, go catch it.
Why not?
And then Nico plays on a high-powered offense. Ayuk is good. Waddle's kind of like the second guy, and Miami's going to run the ball now, I feel like.
Well, and the other issue with Miami is, like, there's a lot of good players on that team. They score a lot of points. They spread it around. Waddle's just been hurt all year. Like, and every time you think he's not hurt, he's hurt again. It's coming from someone who owns Waddle, me. But team is in a pickle. Have Higgins and Coop. Should I look to trade or just ride those guys out? Trade them. Why not? Just don't sell yourself too short. Full PPR, sit one. Laporta, Schultz, Rice, Cooper. I said Schultz. He's fine if you have to start him. The Cardinals are actually top 10 against tight ends this year. I'd sit him. I think the other options are better. Why do you call him staph infection? To be completely honest with you, Steven's dad calls Matthew Stafford staph infection and has for like years. And so I always called him staph infection.
I
So,
call him Stat Padford.
yeah, that's a good one.
Pads the stats.
Cat Stafford. I get it. Patton stats. I like
Patent stats. Lions down
that.
2 touchdowns. He'll throw another
Yeah,
2 touchdowns. Make it close. Miss an extra point. Lose the game.
I like it. All in one show. Also have A-Chain. He's coming back. Thoughts if I should put him on roster or let something go? You should probably let someone go. Just your entire roster.
Get rid of Godwin. Get rid of Godwin. Put on A-Chain.
Let us know if there's players on your bench, because all these players are worth keeping, except Godwin apparently.
Well, for A-Chain, like if I'm for sure I have to roster A-Chain. Like he's running back 1.
Yeah, let us know if this is your starting lineup. If there's other players on your bench you can drop. A-Chain is worth it though. Bijan's playoff is sound.
Plays for Arthur Smith. No, it's not.
Carolina, Indy, Chicago is pretty enticing, but also, Johnny Smith will probably get the touches. So
It's like they're gonna throw. Yeah, I hate Arthur Smith. You've sold me on the Arthur Smith hate train. This Falcons team should have 9 wins. Should be in first place in that pathetic division.
Just gonna run the football with Drake London at the goal line.
I saw somebody say I watched the Falcons run a double tight end pass, have their third tight end throw to their second tight end as the highest drafted tight end ever sat there and blocked. It's like, what is wrong with this team?
Arthur Smith is what's wrong. You got to think he's on the hot seat.
He's fired. I think for sure he's fired. I think it's over. If they don't win that division, he's fired.
There's no way they win that division. I guess there is.
I don't know. They're a game back. That division is so terrible.
It is. They play the Saints next week, though. That's huge.
They have 2 games with the Saints left, so you win both those games, you win the division.
And they're at home. Then they're on the road against the Jets the next week. I don't know. The Jets Falcons might be the worst game of the year, just in terms of anger, in frustration. Horak, what's going on, man? DJ Moore or Sutton? Man, I'm just starting Sutton every week. I don't care. I know I haven't released the must start wide receiver videos because I was out of town for a couple days this week, so I'm behind on everything. But I talk about this in the must start videos. Sutton has scored every game this year except for 2 games. He's a start every week. DJ Moore is enticing. Lions secondary's been weak fantasy wise. Fields is back. Lions probably going to score a lot. I still start Sutton. But I think DJ Moore will be okay.
I have yet to start Sutton, and I'm going to start him this week, so I know he's not scoring a touchdown.
Okay, well, maybe start DJ Moore then.
I'm starting both of them, so there you go. Makes you feel better. I'm starting both of them, guys. So
if Jay Jettis doesn't play this week, who should I play? Doobie, Chandler, Herbert. Definitely Romeo Dobbs. I don't think Jefferson's going to play.
Nah, he's not playing this week.
He is. It was
he's not. No, he's not. He's not. Jefferson's not playing this.
No. I was just saying when he officially got listed as questionable, it was there was a collective.
Yeah, what was that last week? It was oh my god, and then it was no, he's out. He's out. We're changing his status. He's not playing.
Yeah. Dobbs, great matchup. He'll score a touchdown and not get another target the rest of the game, but just take it. It's how he is every week. Rashee Rice, Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs, guys that just get it done and then just don't get targeted again. How y'all feel about Kyler Hollywood stack this week? I'll take it. Yeah. Should be a competitive game. Throwing it back and forth. I'll take it. God, I did not realize how long we've already been streaming. Okay. We'll try and speed through here.
Power through these.
Okay, now I lost my spot. Which running back would you target from trading Ramondre and Lockett?
Devon A-Chain.
Yeah, I guess we like Devon A-Chain. I don't actually really blame that call. It once again, it's just hard to say. You should be able to get a pretty decent running back by trading both these players, though. The way Stroud and Dell are playing, I call Tank Dell matchup-proof, consistent targets. Yeah, and I like him more with Nico out there. Takes the defensive pressure off him. James, we appreciate you. Have a double flex and super flex league. Have Burrow Gibbs, Eckler, Amon-Ra, Chase Kincaid, A-Chain Smith, Wilson, Justin Fields starting. Okay, so this is your bench. JT, Ingram, Watson, Wilson, Spears, Johnson, Boyd. Staph infection. Looking to get another QB since I lost Burrow. I'm going to offer CJ Stroud for JT. Super flex, I might take that.
I kind of love that. Yeah.
You got Eckler, Gibbs, A-Chain. I mean, having JT is really nice here,
Like CJ Stroud
but it's a fair
is.
trade. You have the depth. If you want to do it, I think you do it. I think I can afford it. Was also offered Hurts and Waddle. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I would do the first trade. I think it's more even for you. Don't lose Amon-Ra. Just don't do it. With Andrews gone, who'd you take? Freiermuth, Otten, Conklin are likely.
I kind of like Freiermuth.
Yeah, I just don't like him this week against the Browns.
Conklin's always solid. They don't throw it to him enough, I don't think.
Would say. Well, okay, you probably already started Andrews, so I would pick up Freiermuth. But I was going to say, I do like Conklin the next best. Start Curtis Samuel or Kareem Hunt. Both have good matchups. Probably go Kareem Hunt. But I feel like, I mean, he's just been scoring every week. At some point, if he doesn't score, he's not going to have a good game. Like his ceiling's getting lower. Ford is getting more touches.
They're going to be so run heavy in Cleveland.
That's true. I'll go Hunt. And how often are they going to get to the red zone now? I'll still go Hunt. Andrea, hello. What wide receiver could I target trying to trade Chase? It's just not a good. You got to let some of the dust settle in a situation like this. You know, like everyone right now is like, oh, I'm not going to give you anything for Chase. I'm going to give you the bare minimum. If he has a good game next week, you know, he plays the Steelers. Their secondary is not good. He hates the Steelers.
Should have a good game next week.
Yeah. Like he's going to get the volume. Just give it I guess you can't really give it a week because most trade deadlines are this week. I keep forgetting that. The thing is, you're not going to get fair value right now. I just write it out. I really think if you own Jamar Chase, unless he's part of a package deal, you just write it out. Full PPR, write it out. Ray, what's up, man? Finally got rid of Barkley. Nice. Found my RB1 for season right before trade deadline, which is tomorrow. Traded Barkley and Metcalf for Eckler. Good trade. Very good trade. Let's see. Barkley put me on the panic meter. Yeah, I think that's a great trade for you. Yeah, being 7-3, I like it. Starting lineup after this week is Hurts, Waddle, Olave, Eckler, Hall, Hawk, Monty, Hopkins. Browns or Lions, D? We'll take it. Timeout with Henry. What is up, dude? How are you been? What's up? Good to see you. Hope you've been doing great, man. Jags or Vikings? Ooh. I'll give a slight edge to the Jags. And my reason is they're at home.
Russell Wilson's not bad.
He actually isn't.
That's the whole thing.
I do like the Vikings, but actually the Broncos haven't been a great team to stream defenses against. But like you have both these teams are worth holding on to. 10-team Dynasty 2 QB League. Trade away Stroud and Olave for Burrow and Chase. Trade. Question mark. Trade away.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Favorite to win the championship. My QB would be Mac Jones or DeVito. No. If you're contending, you got to keep the pieces. You got to keep Stroud and Olave. No, I wouldn't do it. This Burrow and Chase stack is really being pushed around in dynasty leagues right now.
Why can't you get Browning? Like, go pick up Browning instead of DeVito or Mac Jones. Like,
yeah.
Nobody's as bad as Tommy DeVito, okay? Just the worst quarterback, and Mac Jones is right next to him.
That is rough. But no, and man, I mean, hey, I'm not out on Burrow. It's too early to have that conversation. But if you are in a dynasty league right now and you own CJ Stroud,
It's gold.
you better be getting the like moon in return for him, man. All right. Is Algier worth a stash? Sure, but you're never going to start him at the right time, and he's going to be on your bench at the wrong time. So, sure. What's up, Aggie Rhythm? How you doing? Lions D or Brownies? I'll go with the Lions. Browns defense hasn't been great fantasy wise, believe it or not. It's been really good, like general. I think Pete likes the
They
Brownies.
might pick it up this week. No one they got no quarterback. They got to buckle down. Kenny Pickett, they're bad for 50 minutes, so maybe you get a touchdown. And that the Steelers don't play offense, but for 10 minutes of a football game,
I like the Lions.
it's not bad. I don't think there's a bad choice here.
I kind of like the Browns though.
I mean,
But I like
I would just be worried Fields chunks off a 50-yarder for 6.
Garbage time. I think
It,
they could. I think they could have a really good first half, almost like the Ravens last week.
well, if they score, the Lions could definitely score. You turn over Fields and score. Whoever scores the touchdown's obviously going to be the winning play.
Both are fine. I like the Lions. Pete likes the Browns. Both are good. So drop Gabe Davis for Pickens or Njigba. You can. I mean, I would personally like at this point in the season to roster Jackson Smith and Jigba. But you've got 3 boomer bust guys. So and they're all these teams are kind of in the playoff hunt, so should be competitive games coming up. I think you can trust your gut on that one. Should I try to trade Ferguson and Najee for JT? Sure. To the Andrews owner? Sure. You don't need Ferg? Yeah. 6 and 4. What do you think? We got Stroud, Murray, Fields. You don't need all 3 of those guys.
Trade Fields. Or
go find the Burrow owner and make a trade. That would be my trade thoughts for you. Go get a wide receiver, maybe.
Yeah.
You got Flowers and Brown behind. I mean, Allen and Smith you can start, but
Smith's
Eckler, Gibbs.
Inconsistent. I like Eckler, Gibbs. Yeah, go get a wide receiver. You're good at tight end. You could probably trade one of your tight ends too.
You could. But the risk is it's such a wasteland, and if someone goes down, even for a week.
I know. I just hate you don't want to sit there deciding between 2 tight ends and make the wrong decision and lose your playoff game. You just want to be here's my tight end. I have it set. Other positions, I want to have the choices. Tight end is the last position I want to have to make a decision at.
That's fair. I think you can trade one of those guys too if you want. I wouldn't trade Keaton Mitchell, but you can also look for some running back help. But you don't need all 3 of these quarterbacks. You just don't. Kevin, what's up? Cooks or Moore? I don't know. Rondo Moore got some more volume this past week. Cooks is so inconsistent.
They talked about getting him the ball and they got him the ball. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
You got here's your touchdowns. Go away.
I think I'll go Cooks. I'll go Cooks. That's my answer. What'd you do? What'd you do? Fields, Downs, and London for Chase. It's my league where my other wide receivers are Hill, CD, Waddle, Kirk, McLaurin. Other quarterbacks are Dobbs, Stroud, and Pickett. 2 QB league. I know that. Sure. If you can get it done, sure. Because then you're going to have Dobbs and Stroud. London is meh. If you get Chase, that doesn't matter. Downs with your wide receiver. I would do this. Sure. Start with Pickett. Start with Pickett, Downs, and London, though. And then go to, I guess, Fields.
Go Fields and Downs and see if you or Fields in London and keep Downs.
Yeah, just start low and build up. But yeah, I think you can do this. Judy, Doodle, Charb in the flex. Maybe drop Doodle for Dobbs. I like Dobbs the most out of these options. Judy's okay. Doodle should get some. It's the Panthers. They suck against the run. I'm not starting Charbs yet. I like Dobbs a lot this week. There's no ceiling really, but the floor is safe. So, you're welcome. Yep. We appreciate you guys. All right, we'll start wrapping up over like the next 5 minutes or so. So if you guys need anything, make sure to get it in, because we're over an hour and it is late. Got 2 offers today: Adams and Swift. I received Kamara and Thielen. Other trade is Cup and Andrews for Diggs. Andrews is more than likely out the rest of the season, but we couldn't tell you any better than anyone else could. I guess I do the Cup and Andrews because like
It's nothing.
you're not really losing anything. You're basically trading Cup for Diggs. I don't really like the Adams and Swift for some reason. Adams got involved last week. Like I feel like no one is really realizing that. Like he still had a good game, full PPR, but they actually got him involved, and they got Josh Jacobs involved. Still don't have a quarterback. If I'm going to do one of these 2 trades, I'd do the Cup and Andrews. But yeah, if Andrews comes back at some point, fantasy-wise, somehow, don't blame me. I don't think he is. Oh, DJ Moore, not. Oh, our bad.
Then play DJ Moore over Cooks. Then play.
Yeah, for sure. DJ Moore rest of the season. My bad. Honestly, I just like Brandon Cooks and Rondell Moore. I felt like we're in a closer tier.
Same tier. DJ Moore is a dog. Give him the dog.
Yeah.
If Fields throws him the ball, like Fields will force feed him.
Yeah. DJ Moore for sure. Not even close. They're going to be playing from behind, have that garbage time. DJ Moore. Got 2 offers today. Oh, we just read that one. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, you have Diggs? Keep Diggs. Yeah. Keep Diggs. Whoever's trying to trade you Andrews is a little
trying to fleece you. That's a sketchy man right there. Don't talk to that person.
Yeah, don't you trade him anymore. Tommy, thank you, bro. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon, man. Ghost Hunter, no, the Burrow injury is not my fault. Makes me sad, man. Makes me sad. I do have a ridiculous, I don't know, not a ridiculous amount. I have a lot of shares of. I have him in half my dynasty leagues, so that should say enough. But yeah, Burrow's my guy. What are you gonna do? Dak or Fields? I'm still going Dak. Yeah, I don't know how many good games Dak has to have before we sit him. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. Hit the like. Check out the links down below. Instagram, Discord, all that stuff. You guys are new. Hope you guys consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out and talking fantasy tonight. Pete's channel, After the Review Sports, is in the chat for you guys. Make sure to go over there and drop Pete a sub for hanging out with us and helping answer fantasy questions like he does every Friday so far, for the most part.
Basically.
And yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up over the next minute or so. Currently 5-5, been sitting the wrong players and all lost by less than 5 points. Goff, T-Law, Dobbs, Jones, Henry, Madison, White, Hunt, Chase, Higgins, Thielen, Noah Brown. Just got Higgins and Madison for Kenneth. Oh, I would have kept Kenneth. But maybe that was before the Higgins injury. So
Madison is terrible. Don't ever pick up Madison. Trade him again.
I'm trying to skip past that until Pete.
God, I hate Madison.
You don't need all 3 quarterbacks.
Flip Dobbs. Dobbs got a lot of value here.
Yeah. Really, like you can ride Goff the rest of the season. You know, he has like ups and downs because they run the ball and whatever, but you can roll with him. Maybe there's a T-Law truther out there who will take T-Law. If you have Goff and Dobbs, that's fine.
It used to be us.
That's me still.
Not anymore, no. Stop.
I'm stubborn. You're probably okay at running back with Jones, Henry, and Rashad White. Chase, Higgins, Thielen, Brown, you need help at wide receiver. Whatever you do, just try and upgrade at wide receiver.
Goff has one outdoor game the rest of the season.
Yeah,
It's
that's
at the
good.
Bears. Yeah, Goff is golden.
What's up, GZ? Start team PPR. Gibbs, Monty, Swift, White. Gibbs and Monty, fire them up. We said it last
Double
week. Like
double stack.
we laughed about it and maybe that's risky. I don't know, but just do it again. It's the Bears, and it worked last week. Just do it again. And I do like Swift and White this week if you feel better about one of those guys. But Gibbs and Monty, seriously, why not? Dan Campbell's willing to run the football on 4th and 6 or whatever it was.
Dude, that was the best play call I think I've ever seen. It's like, yup,
Probably ever.
we're running it 4th and 6. We're picking this up. God, Dan
Just a
Campbell's the man.
total F you to Brandon Staley. Your defensive scheme sucks. Good to see you, GZ. What's up, Rockout? Thank you so much for the $2 dono. One flex, Chandler, Jason, Dotson, Rondo Moore, Jaden Reed, or Foreman. I'm going to go Jason. But if Alexander Madison does not play, we'll go Ty Chandler. Because the Broncos' run defense is that bad. Okay, Latavius Murray and James Cook both had double digits against them last week. James Cook fumbled twice. And Latavius Murray is like my dad's age. So Chandler should be fine. All right, there we go. We'll end the stream on a Vikings player.
No, we're bad. Don't ever
in
play
the super
us.
chat.
No, I'm a big fan. Ty Chandler's the man. How many? Just looking. He had 15 carries last week. There you go.
Yeah.
Madison's dead.
We'll do it. GZ was down 104 points going to evening games and enter Herbie, Keenan, Gibbs, Monty. Nice. Yeah, big games. All those guys. All right, guys. Like I said, make sure you guys head over to Pete's channel. Go drop him a sub. Hit the like. Check out our links down below. Discord, Instagram, all that good stuff. Pete's channel is at the bottom of the chat. Pete, you want to say anything? And then we'll wrap up here.
Nope. Just a pleasure, as always, hanging out with all you guys. Talking ball on Friday nights. Pretty much my favorite part of the week, at the end of the week, to wind things down. Get you excited. Hopefully we don't mess up too bad.
We do our best. It's going to be a good week of football. I should be back on tomorrow to hang out with you guys. So don't worry. Got a little bit more time to talk week 11 before things kick off Sunday. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for the fantasy questions tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate you guys. And good luck to everyone. And we'll talk to you guys next time. With that, I will say, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here.